I wound up doing crypto basically by accident, but I'm pretty sure that's a lot of people's stories. Not too many people are coming out of college going, I want to work in crypto.
I was asking, who know crypto? Most of them they know Bitcoin, but then when I asked the next question is like, who's holding Bitcoin or Ethereum buying it? I think only two people out of the 30 people class actually raised their hand. Like it just echoing what you were saying. Um, I mean, a lot of people are still not aware of what blockchain crypto is, and it's also pretty hard for them to say, hey, I want to be in the industry from day one there.
Hey there, and welcome back to Swept Media at the convergence of AI and Web3. Today we'll be discussing a truly unexplored frontier in the Web3 space that manages to aim at multiple niches at once: tokenized commodities, or rather commoditization of tokens, or better yet, an extreme version of the ones and zeros that make up the trading markets today in the way of GPU compute power. To be more specific, we'll be talking about GAIB, which hopes to launch a marketplace for tokenized GPU power, essentially turning GPU power into a commodity similar to oil and gold. Joining us from GAIB today is Kony Kwong, an accomplished investor and builder in the crypto space based out here in the APAC region. And alongside co-host June An is your host Brian Newar. That's me. Kony, thank you so much for joining us. We're really excited to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's a great honor to be here and just chat more about the new commodities that we're seeing these days.
Definitely. So tell us, what is the problem in the financial structure of Web3 trading that you see, and how is GAIB offering a solution to it?
Sure. I think there's a few problems in the Web3 trading that these days. The first of them is actually the lack of real yield in the market. So I think if you listen to what Vitalik was saying, right? So we need to break the Ouroboros. We need to break we need to get the real yield from the market. The yield has to come from something external. We can't just rely on token subsidies in the market. And this is exactly the problem that a lot of these DeFi protocols are facing. And then the second problem to me in the market is that there's a lack of access to AI infrastructure investments. Other than indirect way of buying NVIDIA stock, basically for any layman people like you and me, we can get into these like infrastructure investments. There's no way for us to do so. So for what GAIB want to do is to actually solve the above two problems: bringing real yield into the market. Second, lowering the barrier, giving access to investments in the AI infrastructure sector. So what we're doing here for the first problem is that we want to bring in the asset that's being demanded by the market, meaning the asset that has been, number one, being used, being paid for. So what are these in the AI era, AI generation? These are exactly GPUs, right? So what we want to do is through partnering up with all our cloud companies, all our data centers who is servicing out these GPUs, making actual money, actual cash flow, we bring them to crypto. So this is the real yield, real money. And the second thing is we're bringing the direct access. For example, by tokenizing these GPUs and the yield attaching to it, we're making it into a new yield bank product on chain. So right now, other than buying NVIDIA stock where you get exposure to the GPUs indirectly, now you can actually invest into the infrastructure, the GPU's assets directly, where you can capture all the values that they bring. Because if you look at the whole supply chain right now in terms of the AI supply chain, I would describe it to be a smile curve, very similar to a U shape, meaning that the ones capturing most of the values are either on the leftmost side or the rightmost side. For the right side, it is the applications. These are applications capturing more values in the market. They used to be not so much, because if you look at how much like Midjourney, the other applications are building, we're slowly going to that increasing curve. And then on the left hand side, these are all the foundational infrastructure, meaning no matter how you build on top, you still need them. So they are the GPUs, they are the data centers, they are the cloud companies, servicing all the computation power you need to the middleware, to the applications, to the models, training, etc., etc. So we're providing direct access by tokenizing these assets on the infra level, and they capture most of the values. Because if you look at how many cloud companies, prices they make, how much GPUs that NVIDIA sold, etc., you see that. And the most important thing is bringing these physical assets on chain is only the first step, because we believe that there could be an economy that being built around these type of assets.
So trading the yield on Pendle, getting involved in the DeFi ecosystem with basically commoditized GPU compute power. Now the thing is, it's like with trading gold as a commodity, you can't really use the gold. There are like actual use cases for the gold, and same with like oil or any other type of commodity, similar to like an ETF for Bitcoin, right? Where you can have essentially what amounts to a stock in your portfolio that represents the value of Bitcoin, or the have exposure to the fluctuations in the value of Bitcoin without actually having Bitcoin itself. That's essentially what you're trying to do, only have that on chain for GPU compute power.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, you're getting to the point, right? Sometimes we don't have to move the physical asset. We want to just like get exposure to the growth, to the yield, to the revenue there. So this is it. I think this is the core value they're bringing. Like by bringing these like new formats, new instruments, then people can get access to it. There would we don't have ways to get access to this asset class before. Now we have, and then we want to like expand it to a broader to the broader like audience that they can tap into.
So then, if this is all on chain, who exactly is the target user or trader for the market? Not just the tokenized part of it. And I think what gaib is doing is issuing NFTs. So you go to the gaib marketplace and you buy an NFT that represents the value of X amount of compute power. Who is the target user for something like that? It can't just be like the pump.fun people who want to just trade something really quickly. Everything's a hot potato in that case. It looks to be like far more legitimate Uniswappers, but with many more filters and levers on what you're trying to do.
Yeah. So we aim to provide actually a suite of different products that fit a variety of risk appetites. Like to clarify, the way you can actually buy the tokenized GPUs onto our platform is actually ERC20 tokens instead of NFT. So more about the details, product details, you can find it on our website later if you're interested to learn more. So getting back to the point, so we want to provide different products. For example, the most basic tokenized yield products. It bring actual yield, sustainable yield on chain. So these will actually target the yield seekers. A lot of the yield seekers that we're seeing these days are, I park my money in Ethena, where I can capture part of the yield that it generates for basis trading, for arbitrage. Or I just go to DeFi as an LP and earn these like LP pool yields there. So these are basic yield seekers, right? So we want to tap into them. There's actually lack of yield avenues, especially in not only in bull market, but in bear market, you will see a lot of the yields going down, like no more DeFi trading, no more LP pools NFTs, then like you as an LP to these people, where do you park your money to get other than 4 or 5% of TPU's yield there? You need somewhere. You need somewhere that give you actual yield. So this is where our products can come in, provide a better return profile than just T-bills. And the second thing is, as I mentioned, there's a lot of like DeFi puzzles that we can leverage to bring in a product that you would definitely would want to. For example, if you want to speculate on any of these GPUs, yield or asset class, just do PT and YT that we're going to integrate. And then, for example, if you want to do like option trading, for example, big companies, they say, I want to hedge against the computation price. Because there's just like oil or gas, you see kind of fluctuations when the market environment changes. So we can actually buy options or futures that we're going to launch on the market there. So there will be like high risk, high return profile of asset, or there will be more stable yield products that we introduce. So there got to be one type of product that fit like different spectrum of users on the DeFi world, on the crypto world. The more degens, they can trade more leverage to trade more looping. The more reserved or safe, or people who prefer safer products, they can just buy the yield, the most vanilla type of there. So, I mean, yeah, we want to cater to the more audience, the better.
So then really, it's not about the main point of this isn't about buying the tokens, and I think that's if I'm accurate on this is the main value proposition here is not buy the ERC20 token, it's earn the yield. But doesn't that expose someone who maybe they want a strong yield on their investment? Many traders are going to try to use stablecoins to do something like that. Other stablecoins like ETH, they're also going to use that to try to earn yield. What if people are going to buy an ERC20 token that has a highly volatile value, lose more of their principal from the loss of the value of the ERC20 token itself than they're going to get from the yield? Like, how then would you be able to say that this is a viable product because the ERC20 token is not going to have it won't have very high volatility, but the yield will basically make up for whatever losses you're having? Is that something that GAIB is working on now? Like, how do you protect investors' principal in that way?
Oh yeah, yeah. Let me put it in a simpler way to explain what like yeah. ERC20 is just a format. What exactly product we have boiled down to products that that's the risk and also return profile. So essentially, what we're tokenizing are these like GPUs, asset, and their yield. And these yield are pretty stable because they come from the people purchasing these GPUs, paying them money to reserve them and use them. So in that sense, in the product itself, in the essence itself, is not like a volatile asset where the computation power can just like skyrocket one day and go to zero the next day. So in that case, what people are buying is actually more a yield product. In terms of yield product, there definitely is some risk to every types of products that you buy, right? So if you buy, for example, a bond of a corporate, the corporate might default or might go bankrupt. There's always a risk there. But then it just depends on where the spectrum these assets are, whether they are on the highly risky side, more volatile, or more stable. For GPU assets that we're tokenizing and the yield that we're tokenizing, they're definitely on the left hand, which is like less volatile, more stable types of asset, giving you more yield there. And then on the more speculative one, these are where the other products that we will be introducing to the market, like PT and YT, they could be more volatile. But if you just have to trade the type of product that fit your needs and fit your risk profile. You don't have to do YT trading there if you're not like super sophisticated and having a direction where you want to bet on.
Okay, so I think that kind of also answers the first part of my question about who exactly is the ideal user or trader. It could be anybody. Like you have or will have products for speculative traders who want to treat the tokens like they do a meme coin now. You might hold it for a few minutes or a few hours. Or I should say, and you'll have products that are essentially stable yield. Not exactly stable yield, but may amount to something like that because the principal assets themselves are not going to be very volatile. Are you able to control that because of the different types of compute that is getting tokenized? Like the value of like one type of compute is not going to be the same value as another simply because of the amount of power. Is that how you're able to get a more accurate or be able to say that one value is going to be more stable than the other?
Yeah. Because the thing that we're tokenizing is the cash flow of the product. Meaning that now we have a lower end GPU, for example, 3090, 4090, or 5090. There's more consumer grade GPUs. We don't care about how much they're worth, but what we care about is how much they can make in the coming days. For example, in the 1 year, right? If they can make $100, then you're basically sharing the $100 of return by tokenizing it with invested here. And then if it's like a more high-end GPU, like H100, H200, if they make $1,000, then you're essentially sharing the $1,000 with the investor. So it depends on how much you want to share. So maybe for the H100 or these high-end GPUs, the yield there can be like 20%, for example. And then the 5090, they're only 15%, right? So there could be different types of yield to different asset class, but then they're relatively stable because the cash flows are sort of predicted because they're being rented, they're being used, and being paid by the user. And why is there a difference in terms of the yield they provide depends on several factors. Number one is who's operating them, how much they're making usually, how much they're charging, And these all varies from region to region. For example, if you ran a GPU in Asia versus if you ran a GPU in the States, there could be some difference in terms of rate. It could be like half a dollar difference there. So it all boils down to different market and different coverage, different geographies there.
Interesting. So then, how do the principles of supply and demand play out here? Because there's not like a fixed token supply. There's not a fixed supply of compute power either. So how does that play out in a market for GPU compute power across different types of compute power, considering factors like technological advancements, manufacturing capacity, and the evolving needs of AI developers? Like I read something earlier today that said that the global AI market is expected to hit $3.5 trillion in valuation by basically within the next 10 years. Where is that valuation going to come from, and like how do the factors of supply and demand then affect what GAIB is doing if there's going to be several different types of investment products that you guys offer?
Yeah. So I can give you more context about how we're getting these assets onto our platform and how we function that before answering the question. So gaib is a platform where we have just think of us as a launch pool, right? So we can bring in different types of GPUs assets onto our platform. We can bring in different types, even the same type of GPU, but in different geographies can also be on the platform. So we essentially like a launch pool where there were different assets will be launched. And these assets all have the maturity, or have the yield profile, or have like different risk return profile there. And the market is definitely growing. So you were talking about how the market is growing, how gaib is actually positioned to take advantage of that when we're seeing newer types of GPUs coming out. It's actually very simple. Number one, we are asset agnostic, meaning we don't have preference on getting what type of GPU assets onto the market. When there's need for investors to invest, when there's new type of GPUs that can generate cash flow stable enough, we will bring on. And the second question comes is, how about when there are new GPUs comes out, are you gonna touch that? Are you gonna do it? Well, of course, like as I mentioned, we're a launch pool. When there are new types of GPUs to come in, if they do have demands, people buying it, they have revenue and yield, we just get them onto our gaib platform by tokenizing it. So we grow as the market grow. And the second thing is about the demand. Where does the demand come from for the $3.5 trillion market? Well, I think the demand is like keep on expanding, especially after the DeepSeek launch, because DeepSeek launch actually, to me, there's actually AI era, actual Gen AI era 2.0. 1.0 to me was like ChatGPT launch. It was like 2022, and then in the next 2 years, people realized that when you actually contribute enough like computation power to a transformer model, then you can actually get a way smarter AI model there. So there used to be like in the past 2 years, there were a lot of like chase on the foundation model, the training. A lot of companies bought these like big GPUs, quite expensive ones, just keep on training it to hope that if I feed them enough data, enough power, they become smarter. And then afterwards, like for almost 2 years, that was a trend. You see all the race to the bottom on open source model or closed source model by OpenAI that was saying, okay, how many GPUs did I use to train this model? How big the parameters they have, like how smart they are, just benchmarking. And then when the DeepSeek launched, people realized, well, we can get a smart model with a small amount of training cost. And that advancement comes from different types of architecture changes. For example, the MOE model, how they train it, how they feed it. And then people like was thinking, do we still need that much computation power anymore to train model? Is NVIDIA going downhill, etc. But you know what? It was right after Lunar New Year where DeepSeek launched. There are more and more like orders to the cloud companies that want to rent the GPUs and host DeepSeek, build more applications. One of the example about this is that the AWS rental prices, GPU per hour per dollar, how much like per GPU per hour that cost actually jumped from $2 before DeepSeek launched to $3 after DeepSeek launched. And even if you go check out the H200 prices for these like bigger platforms like Lambda, Fast AI, you'll see that it's still hovering about like around like $3 there, meaning we're seeing way more demands for these like production grade GPUs for people to use them to actually host model, train model. And I think that trend will last as we are seeing a lot more companies are integrating DeepSeek, integrating other models that being launched recently. So we're still in the early stage, and I do see that this is like Gen AI era 2.0 is only the start of the exponential growth of AI applications, which I mentioned about the smile curve. Right now, the right hand side is gonna take off to me.
Got it. So the more chatbots and the more AI projects that come out, actually, the better it is for something like GAIB or any GPU marketplace, right? It's
Yeah,
just like
I really want to hear some metrics on, the GAIB's impact on this as well. If you have any, I'm pretty sure you guys did some research on there, like what kind of impact you guys can have on the market.
Yep. A very simple stat that I can mention is what GAIB actually helps these cloud companies. An often asked question about GAIB is, what are the values to the market? Like, especially the cloud companies, how are you helping them? Well, this is actually very simple because for a cloud company to work, they need an insane amount of capital. Just to give you a short example, for 1,000 GPU cluster H100/H200, they cost $30 to $40 million, and just only 1,000. And for a mega cluster like X Tesla, that they own like 100,000 H100 GPUs, they cost them $2.5 billion or plus to build that, just the hardware itself. Which means that these cloud companies, they need huge amount of capital. What we are contributing here is we're providing them with an additional channel to get money for them to expand, grow the GPU fleet. And as Brian mentioned, the market is $3.5 trillion. This could be a big market in terms of the revenue side, the application side. But if you look at the subsegment of infrastructure side, how big can that be? I just quote you a few numbers. Magnificent Seven investing $300 billion a year just into AI infrastructure. And then Alibaba is going to invest like 50-something billion dollars in the next 3 years to AI GPUs. There'll be a huge amount of capital pouring into this market. And what we can capture, even a small 1-2% of that, that's almost like a few $billion of business that we can tap into. And in our pipeline, getting back to our pipeline, we have more than like $1 billion of asset that we can tokenize and bring onto our platform in the coming years. So it is only a very small fraction of that, like the whole market, and it's definitely growing, and we'll be capturing more and more as we go to market, because we are one of the few that not only on Web3 but also in Web2 to focus in a really specific area, that the infrastructure investment side.
So then, do you expect other builders to be able to tap into that capital? Let's say someone wants to build a cluster of compute power in their data center, wherever it is. They can tap into GAIB's values somehow. Do you expect to be able to offer that to those builders?
Yeah, of course. We welcome. The whole goal for us is we help the AI market grow. We help it grow faster, and then GAIB get benefited from it, right? So it's a win-win situation.
Yeah. I guess we're on topic of what GAIB's trying to do with the goals. I know you guys had a few months back. You guys had a pre-seed round of $5 million, right? So what are some like preliminary milestones? Now that you guys have finished your pre-seed, prior to your next round, and how are you guys gonna measure those success with those milestones?
Yeah. So since our foundation were around like the pre-seed was done, we have come a really long way to now. So we're the first in the market to talk about tokenized GPU. We're the first in the market to bring these assets on chain, and not only talk about it, we're also one of the early advocates of AI-Fi, like financing AI through blockchain. Because to me, the main benefits about blockchain is bringing economies, bringing sustainable model. That's the very key difference between Web 1.0 and Web 3.0. One is with a business model that can grow sustainably to capture all these like externalities and external values that were not captured in the Web 1.0, where we have a public goods, right? And so what we have done in the past few months, the simple thing. Number one, we published AI-Fi thesis, talk about what are the different segments of AI and crypto crossover. We're one of them, focusing on the asset level. There were people focusing on how to facilitate better usage of computation power, idle resources. There are people focused on how do we tokenize data, tokenize model, tokenize like AI agents, etc. So, and the second thing that we did was that we actually did the first like Web3 tokenized GPU product on chain. So it was launched in February. So that was the first like product whatsoever in the market. And what we did was we tokenized these like on-chain GPUs revenue stream, packaged that in a new product, and people invest into it. It was pretty well received by our investors, and it was done in a pilot program because we want to test out everything. And then we also like got a big community that we're growing. There will be more milestones that we in the coming weeks and months that we're launching, but we're slowly announcing that. So stay tuned to our website, to our Twitter, and follow that for more updates. So definitely on the product side that we're launching to the market. So yeah, there will be a lot of more exciting things that we're launching, but until then, like I can't review too much details. But stay tuned, and then check out our websites for up and coming announcements. We'll be there pretty soon. Yeah.
All right, I guess he's not gonna spill anything for us on this podcast.
Oh.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
You want the alpha? June, have you seen?
Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, follow us closely, then alpha leaking soon. Yeah.
He said, stay tuned to stay tuned. That's like, get ready. Announcement coming next week. Get ready for the announcement.
Announcement for an announcement.
Sooner than you think. Sooner than you think. Yeah, sooner than you think. Yeah.
How about right now?
Yeah. We'll get to it.
Are we going to hear it before Token 2049 then? Before Dubai?
Oh yeah, definitely. Okay. We'll be releasing more updates by then.
All right. Definitely less than a month then. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So you guys were the first to do this sort of tokenized commoditization of GPUs. Then who else is your competition now? Who is GAIB competing with, like specifically or in general?
Yeah. I think after we have been like talk about these like ideas, a lot of people like it. For example, our close partners, Aether, IO, these like decentralized compute markets, they all like what we do because we essentially helping the cloud companies to expand and which can benefit themselves, right? So in this market, in Web3 and Web2, I think that more people started to realize the importance of AI infrastructure investments. So there are a lot more, a few more, I would say, people trying to do what we do, and then it is a big market. So we do welcome a lot more people to do this so that you can use more attention, education to the market. So definitely more people, more eyes onto this.
Right. I guess since we're talking about competitions, what gives you guys the edge over other competitions then, other than starting early, of course?
Yeah. I think there's three key advantages that we have. Number one is we do have cloud compute operators. Like my partner operates cloud compute himself, so we get the first-hand information about demand, supply, and also the unit economics of running a GPU. So to most people, AI cloud company or infrastructure is actually a very like connected community. Like people know each other. For example, like there are only a few of NVIDIA cloud partners in the world, or even in specific region. So we easily know like who's who, and then how much they make, how much they're making, who their users are, how much they're the size, how they're growing there. So we do have the intel that about supply and demand dynamics, the growth dynamics, and also it's easier for us to do the background check and due diligence on a company that we work with. For example, the cloud company say, hey, we have 10,000 GPUs in X country. Now we can immediately like pick up a phone and know whether that's a true information or false information there. And the second thing is to do what we do, a GAIB platform, you actually require quite some deep know-how other than the AI side, but also on the finance side, because no matter it's like structured products or lending and borrowing, these are all finance or financial instruments that you have to structure. It's just to a lot of people think about tokenization is, oh, GPU one is worth $10, then let's just copy that, and then on chain, then just printing out $10 of GPU there. It doesn't work that way. There's a lot of things that you have to structure to make the product work, to make sure that your investors doesn't lose money and lose their rights there. And then the third thing is in terms of DeFi. So structuring is one thing. How do you get tapped into and connected with the DeFi community is another thing. So we do work closely with a lot of the DeFi partners on that, money markets, diversity structure and structured products platforms like Pendle, and a couple other like bigger guys there. So I think the know-how about our team and expertise about our team in AI, finance, DeFi, and blockchain actually make it quite substantial advantages compared to the other partners there, especially on the AI side, because we that's how we get such long pipeline of assets that we can bring onto our platform.
Cool. I just found out that my accountant hasn't dropped me. I'm allowed to get my taxes done by the same guy again. See, I don't know what it's like. Where are you right now, by the way? What country are you in? Kony.
Me?
Kony, yeah.
Oh, you mean me?
You.
Yeah, I'm in Asia. Yeah.
Yeah. So
GAIB is Singapore-based, right?
Actually not. We're global. So a few founders we situated in different countries, states, and then Taiwan, some in Singapore, some in Japan. Like pretty distributed.
Right. Regulations, though.
Oh no, we can't talk about regulation. That's actually one we can't talk about.
Yeah.
I should have told you.
We can't talk about regulations because I'm very curious about.
No, we can't. No, we can't. I should have told you already. We can't talk about. I didn't tell you. Let's frame it this way. What are the geopolitical ramifications of tokenizing GPUs, especially knowing how touchy the actual GPUs are from, again, a geopolitical sense?
Right. I'm also because I mean, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like to us, there's like geopolitical tension is definitely a problem that everybody faces, right? But then to us, the cloud companies that we work with, they're the ones that do things in the most compliant way. Because for you to get GPUs from NVIDIA, you must have gone through a lot of different checks there. So they're the ones that they handle that. And then for us that we work with, they already like get those issues covered. So it's definitely not too big deal for us to work with the ones that has the GPUs already. Like we don't face that direct problem about sanction and things like that. That's not something we face here. Yeah.
Later.
But I think one comment that I can make is I think global Global-wise, there are more favorable policy to crypto industry as a whole, whether we're seeing like on the al-GAIB side or tokenization side. So it's the good news to anybody in the industry, because we have always thought about where does the institutional money comes, where does the regulation comes. Well, we're seeing that these days, and I think there could be more favorable global policies to the whole industry that can benefit the growth of that. So it is definitely a plus for me and you and everyone that's working in this to bring this industry massive, right?
Yeah.
Kony, how do you use AI tools, like in your daily work or otherwise life?
No, like I do use AI a lot. Like for example, internally we have the AI bot where for us to send messages to all the partners, then they can help us send that. And then because I'm a big AI fan, so starting from like when GB 3.0 and 3.5 was launched, I built my own chatbot, trading bots, AI agents. So I'm very familiar with the whole workflow, like end to end. Like at that time, it's very interesting. Like at that time, a lot of the discussion was about how do we give AI agent memory, because the context window about using an AI model is really, really small. I still remember for OpenAI, like the ChatGPT 3.5, the context window was only like I think a few tens of tokens there, and then somehow people just got it to bigger, like 128K, and then it just got bigger and bigger, like the whole book. You can essentially bring the whole book into the context and ask them to give you some questions there, and before this was what was happening, before this context window of the AI model changed, a lot more techniques was about how do we get the right information in such a big database correctly. So quite some algorithms launched were used by these people, like similarity search by Facebook guys, and then the other like how to use vector databases to get the results. And did learn a lot more things back then about this. And so that's why when I was building my own AI agent, it's really funny. Like they could actually answer a lot of questions, give me more suggestions that these days that these AI agents are equipped with. And then getting back, like what AI tools that I use, for example, getting ideas, definitely like ChatGPT, Claude, and our own chatbot. And also for getting some of these like images, I will use Midjourney. I used to use like Stable Diffusion a lot more, but then I think Midjourney like works pretty well. And also for some of the notes taking, then I do use like Notion AI there, and a bunch of others AI tools that we use. I experience using more automation tools, for example, connecting the AI to my email, help draft that, summarize the emails for me. Now you can have that embedded with Gemini on Google Suite Workplace. But before that, it was not available.
Yeah, we just got the file extension. So like even in emails and Drive and everything, Gemini will look at everything for you. You don't even need any special apps to do it. It's all native on there.
Yeah. Now it's native. Yeah, but then I don't think it was like. But then, but back then you have to build your own streamlined workflow. So that was where all these like Zapier and the other tools that came out allow you to connect the AI models to your email, summarize it, and draft it for you, or even flag the more important emails for you as well. And then even now, like there's some more interesting AI tools that you can do is by automating your calendar booking. For example, they can just directly reply for you and then send a calendar link there, or have you draft a calendar invite to the other guys when they see the email information there. So we're living in a smarter world comparing to a year or two ago.
Yeah. What are some exciting use cases you see for AI? Like obviously we talked about the integration. Everyone is using Google. And now that it's become so much more automated, I think more and more people are going to discover how powerful their Google Suite was, even at the base level. but especially if you're spending for Google Workplace, how powerful it actually can be, only because now those capabilities are unlocked. I guess in a way that would be an application for Web 4 almost, where you don't even need the browser to do it. It's kind of doing it on its own,
Yes. Yep.
creeping into the Web 4 space with those types of integrations. But what are some other use cases for AI that you're seeing that excite you?
Yep. I'm gonna share two. So one is more futuristic. The other one is more day-to-day life. So in Hong Kong, in the other part of the regions as well. So in some regions where voice control is not a thing, compared to the States. Now I just replaced my new TV, and all of a sudden I can just use voice control for everything on the TV. I can open a browser. I can search anything just with a command. I can just control my smart devices with that. But I think, echoing what you were saying, we are moving from a GUI era to a, what's the better name? Let me just say it as an agent UI era. So the AUI era, meaning that whatever control or interaction that you want to do, it is just gonna be a command. This command can be in text, can be in voice, can be in video, because AI models will definitely be multimodal, meaning they can take in texts, they can take in audio, they can take in video as commands there. So that future, I do think will be coming to a sooner reality than later, and that's just day-to-day life experience. Why I mention that is because before, I had to teach my parents on how to use a new device or a new gadget by giving them step to step. Say, hey, press this button, then go to this tab and open that, right? Right now, I just tell them, click the remote control and then press it down for the voice control of that. Just say the command, open the browser. Browser immediately showed up. Type in youtube.com. youtube.com just being typed into the browser IP into the address, and then immediately send them there. So the interaction just bring it a lower entry barrier for a lot more people, break down the steep learning curve there. So it is a lot more different. And a second more futuristic future that about this type of AI interaction was launched by Manus. If you pay attention to Manus AI, it was a really hot topic in the past like 2 weeks.
I want to get a code. I want to use it, but no one has a rep code for me.
I'm also trying to get a code. I'm also trying to get a code, and then there's an open version for it called Open Manus, where right now you hold a version of that yourself. So what Manus actually did, it was like they leveraged a lot of these new plugins. Yeah, well, I think that's the word. The plugins that for the AI agent. For example, right now, when the agent has a computer that can use, because people were trying to give a browser to an agent. So that's why browser use these tools were pretty famous a month ago. And then now we combine everything together. Now AI agent can browse. They have like a computer. They can do search. And then they can also write their notes, and even they can run programs to correct themselves if they see the runtime error there. So a lot more things can be done by giving them more tools and fully automated way that we're seeing. Definitely, I think the demo by Manus is a little bit like too optimistic. It's the same thing that where all the AI, when they show you the demo video, it's like 120% achievement, but then when you use it, it's like 80%. There's a discount to it, but this is a glimpse to the fully autonomous future that we're seeing. Just give them one command. They go search. They may even talk to other AI agents, and then they come back with a result that you want. If it's not correct, give them a command to do it again. But you don't have to just chime in from time to time. For example, open the browser for it, or click the button for them, or type in email for them. You don't have to. They will just do it themselves.
Yeah, I don't use the automated stuff on my TV. I actually unplugged my TV from the internet. I don't want it to know anything.
Oh my god.
Dude, I'm so paranoid about that.
You're literally having a tinfoil hat on. Well, actually,
Yeah.
no, because I mean, in Korea, LG was hacked. All the appliance was hacked.
That's why.
Before.
Okay.
That's why. To gather a lot of data from all those smart devices. So.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. That's privacy is always an issue. Like how do we ethically use AI without infringing privacy? Like this has been a long going issue.
And I believe that we're gonna definitely see a lot more AI on the hardware layer rather than the software layer. So if
Of course.
the security is going to be an issue, that also causes a lot of security risk or more concerns on the security risk as well. AI gold.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what you want to see on the next news for sure.
Yep. Okay, we'll wrap this up with one last question. I'll give you, I don't know, you might have thought about this already. I'll give you the time you need to think about your answer, but why do you need to use blockchain? I mean, why is gaib built as a blockchain protocol? Doing tokenization, like why are you using blockchain for tokenization instead of just going the traditional route, offering some kind of stock or an ETF or doing it that way?
Yep. I think the answer is actually very simple. I'm a blockchain enthusiast. I like the ethos of blockchain, which is decentralization, lowering barrier, transparency, trustworthiness. Like these are all characteristics that why blockchain actually appealed to me. When I first entered crypto, how AMM fascinates me. You'll never understand. Like when I got to understand that what AMM could do, where you can do a trade without a counterparty, that's just amazing. Like you can have that in traditional finance or in traditional setting. And the same thing here, especially what I mentioned earlier, what Web 1.0, Web 2.0, Web 3.0 that should differ is that you can have openness, you can have decentralization, plus the long-term business model. So this is exactly what we gaib want to do. We want to leverage all the DeFi that goes, all the decentralization, all the puzzles there, plus to be a decentralized platform for the economy. So I think this is a uniqueness that blockchain can bring to us. That's why we're doing tokenization of different assets, building economy on top. It just boils down to the belief that I have in the technology and also in this industry.
All right, fair enough. Thank you.
Did he pass the test?
He passes it if he believes he passed it.
There is a wrong answer to this, though. There is definitely a wrong answer to this. There might not be a right answer to it, but there's definitely a wrong answer.
Yeah, you know what? I would agree with you on that. There is a wrong answer. He didn't give the wrong. He gave a great answer.
Yeah, he gave a great answer. I like that. Yeah, and especially with gaib, where you definitely need a borderless transactions and transparency.
Yeah, definitely.
It fits well. Yeah.
And yes, AMMs are amazing. Uniswap is truly incredible. Like I think it gets the love that it deserves, like duly, but I don't think it's said enough. Like Uniswap is pretty amazing. But that aside, Kony, I think we've bent your ear, you've bent ours for long enough here. Not that we're sick of it. You're welcome back anytime. Pleasure to have you on here. Thank you so much for taking the time, really, to come and do this podcast with us.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks, June. Stay tuned. We have a lot of exciting launches coming up. So follow us and see you soon later.
Yeah, looking forward to it, and hopefully to meet you at one of the conference events for sure, or whenever you come to Seoul. Just let's catch up.
Yeah, we're definitely paying you. I think I will be in